What is going on, guys? So today we have the RP Law matchup versus BY Luffy. And for those who don't know, this is BY Luffy's one of his toughest matchups in this meta, especially with RP Law being so dominant and fast. BY Luffy needs to find a way to survive the early onslaught that Law is able to put on the board. There are a lot of support in OP07 that helps him with this, one being Space Luffy, that's the obvious one, and also some BY Luffy players are now teching in the 3-drop Ivankov to help them take a life, and also as a 4K blocker, Trafalgar Law needs to invest one of their power reducers in order to get rid of her. But starting the game off, looks like Lamb just drops a Gordon on board, and Jason opts to search with the Three Brothers Searcher event. So now Lamb drops the Zoro Joro. That card is actually a new addition to the RP Law decks. I think as RP Law gets played more, people are realizing that he is pretty weak turn 1, and Zoro Joro helps with that, giving him an option other than Shiraya when he's going first. So looks like Jason just goes with a 9k to lead on his second turn that connects. And let's see if Lamb actually wants to ramp with the Zoro Joro here. Luckily for him, Zoro Joro is only 4k, so he doesn't punish himself for swinging into lead here in order to get the ramp effect. But starting off pretty fast, he has the Zoro on board already, but opts not to use his rush attack. I think he wants to see if Jason can rip his own life here, just so he can rush him down afterwards. And that's exactly what he does, playing the 5-drop Luffy down, ripping 1 life to draw 1. Luffy's one of those cards where it's really hard for RP Law to deal with, just because him being an 8k body, he needs to invest 2 cost reducers in order to deal with that Luffy there. And Jason successfully baits that out. And removing that Luffy means that now Jason has a completely empty board, but good for him that a Sabo wasn't bottom decked, because the Sabo is actually what will win him the late game if RP Law doesn't have enough power reduction to spin them back with his leader ability. So I'm surprised Lamb hasn't been swinging in with the Zoro Joros. He could have ramped already and not be punished for it, just because Zoro Joro at 4k power, Luffy actually wouldn't lose a life. So it's essentially free ramp, and it protects him, because if Jason wants to stop the ramp, he would have to swing into the Zoro Joro instead of swinging at life. So I think it's a missed opportunity, but I think right now Lamb's game plan is to just build board as wide as possible. And Jason recognizes that Zoro Joro is a threat, even though Lamb hasn't been swinging with it, and so he pops it with his Space Luffy there. Being at 2 life, looks like Jason is very healthy. So I wonder if Lamb is going to start pushing soon, or keep on playing the waiting game. Yep, and it looks like he does decide to push in. Getting 2 cards out of hand here. Looks like with Jason's hand at the moment, he is in a really good spot. Lamb swings in for 6. I think that is an easy take. actually bottom decks nothing to cheat out the blocker Law and ripping 2 cards out of hand. So, little unlucky on the rips. He grabbed a Luffy baby and also the adult ace. I think anytime you rip an adult, it's not really a loss for the Luffy player. So, going into his 10 Dawn turn with 0 life. If he has Gecko in hand with the appropriate babies, I think that Jason is in a really good spot to start dominating. Just because with the way that Lamb has been spamming the leader ability, he will only have 3 Dawn to work with next turn. And I think this is a good move here. Space Luffy coming out, getting another draw, and he'll probably play out the ace as well. Oh, he doesn't. So looks like in this turn, actually no Gecko play either. So I'm guessing he doesn't have the Gecko set up just yet. But 7k body with a Sabo blocker and 1 life is a very high power that RP Law really can't swing into unless those Bond Clays have big bodies to copy. And I think Jason did a great job playing around that by only giving him a Sabo. So if he wanted to swing in with Bond Clays, he would still need to invest Dawn to connect any damage. With only 3 Dawn to work with, it's really tough to see how Lamb can get out of this one. But he does opt in to swing in 7 with the Bond Clay here. Getting countered out and then trying one more time. I think the right play here might have been to actually block with the Sabo there. Just because with 1 Dawn up, there's always a risk of his Sabo getting bottom decked. But it does come out in a Shariah to follow. And I think at this point here, even though the board is really wide on the RP Law side, BY Luffy is in a really good spot because the RP Law actually has 0 Dawn at this point, and his next turn he won't be able to swing very tall. So if Jason somehow gets rid of both of these Bond Clays, I think he will be poised to win this one here. But finally getting the Gecko play off, using the baby ace to grab the ace that was already in life, and now being a 9k leader with the ace in life, I think he felt safe enough where he could just leave his ace in life, leave the Bond Clays on board, because he probably has more than enough counter to counter out of this one here. And with only 2 Dawn, looks like Lamb's not able to hero ability and scoops it up because the crackback would just be way too big. So BY Luffy actually takes it here. Really good job to Jason winning the, I believe it's like a 40-60 matchup almost. But I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks.